Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Malcontent Corner, the corner where I hope to share with you the various tips, tricks, and secrets of things that I have learned, and I share them with you in the hopes of making your life a little bit easier. Now, for today's subject, I'm going to talk about my wife's 2001 Mercury Cougar. Now, this particular car has the 2.5 liter V6 Duratec engine in it. And we were driving back from going to the store, and the check engine light came on. Now, other than the check engine light coming on, the car ran fine. So when I had a few moments, I plugged in my OBD2 scanner here, and I found that the car was generating a P0401 error. Now, this is known as an exhaust gas recirculation insufficient flow error. And upon researching this on the internet, I found that there were two schools of things that were going on. One was that people were arbitrarily throwing parts at the problem without really solving the problem. And the other thing was that there is a condition that these engines suffer from. It usually arises after about 100 to 125,000 miles. And that is that the EGR port in the intake manifold actually gets blocked up with carbon. Now, I pulled the throttle body off, and I basically created a video to show you what's going on and what I ended up cleaning. So I apologize beforehand for the camera work being a little shaky and my fumbling around for the words to use. I was a little cold and tired that day. But grab some popcorn, and coming up next is the video of what I did to help clean out that port. Okay guys, what we have here is the actual position of where the throttle body would attach to your Duratec 2.5 liter V6. I've taken it off already, and actually, unfortunately, I didn't do it before. But what's going on here is that your exhaust gases come in that little rusty pipe down there, are controlled here with a valve, and there's actually a channel on the intake here that pops out right about here, and the exhaust gases come down here and get routed into the intake via these channels here. Now, when I pulled this gasket off, this was completely caked. These channels were not channels, they were blocked up with carbon, and everything pretty much from here on down was just a filthy mess. Same with these little bumps here, they were just a clogged up mess. So I went through and cleaned the living daylights out of it with carb cleaner and a small screwdriver, dug it out, cleaned out all the carbon. It's looking pretty good right now. Now, the intake channel, I'm going to take this little piece of clothes hanger here, is actually right along here. As you can see, it's going in there. And in theory, I should pull this off as well as this and clean out that channel. Unfortunately, to disconnect that, I need a 1 1/16 inch wrench. There's a nut back there. I don't know if you can see it really easily. Hold on, let me see if I can get this out of the way for you. Yeah, oh, there you go. That is a 1 1/16 wrench. Sorry for all the jiggliness here. I don't have a wrench for that, so basically I'm leaving that in place, and I'm just going to run the gamut and clean that out. Now, to be sure to do it right, you should probably pull that. You should probably clean that out. Since I don't have the right tools, I'm going to just clean this off and see how it goes. And if it changes, I will post that on the channel here. But if you clean that out, odds are you will be fine. And the thing is, the gasket here is only about $3-4 bucks, depending on where you buy it from. Now, one of the things I do want to make you aware of is make sure you clean the surface off. There will be a lot of material stuck on there. But also clean off the back of your throttle body, and while you're at it, you're probably going to find that the butterfly here is just caked with carbon. That's why my finger looks like that. It took a little bit of scrubbing to get this as clean as it looks, and as you can see, it's still not perfect. But I found a lot of carbon built up on the channel here and on this butterfly. Take some time to clean that up, because that all kind of reduces performance and airflow, and it's just a good thing to do. So take a few moments, clean this gasket material off of this as well, and yeah, clean that out. So anyways, there you go. If that should take care of your problem. If it does not, then you have to diagnose it further. It could be an EGR valve, it could be a leaky sensor or a tube, or that starts getting a little more spendy here. So anyways, there you go. Hopefully that'll help you. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully that video gave you an idea on what I did to clear out that blocked passage on the intake. Now, before I did the repair, I did reset the computer just on the off chance that it was a random error code. Now, my wife wasn't able to get more than a day's worth of driving in before the check engine light popped on. That makes sense because even though I cleared the computer, once the computer was back up and running again, it realized it wasn't getting the right flow or the right signals that it needed, and it regenerated the code. I'm happy to say though, after cleaning out that passageway and cleaning out those ports, my wife has over 100 miles on the car and the check engine light has not reoccurred. So I consider this job to be fixed and I'm putting it to bed. Now, time-wise, it took me about 2 hours to do the work. So it's not really a horribly complicated job. Parts-wise, it's pretty cheap. It only ran me maybe $8. The gasket itself was almost $4 plus tax, and a can of carb intake cleaner. So, figure $4 a piece, $8 plus tax, so less than $10. I got it all cleaned out. Now, the last thing I want to make you aware of, if you're watching this, and this definitely applies to the 2001 Mercury Cougars. I suspect it's the same for 99, 2000, 2002. But the throttle body bolts are to be torqued to 89 inch-pounds. Not foot-pounds, but inch-pounds. And it's kind of important that you get those torque specs right and you do it in a cross pattern. And the reason why is if you over tighten, you stand the chance of stripping out the threads on the intake or warping or cracking your throttle body base, and neither one of those situations, the strip bolt holes or warped or cracked throttle body base, is a ideal situation and can be a bit of a pain in the butt. So make sure you get an inch-pound torque wrench if you don't have one, and torque those bolts down in a cross pattern to 89 inch-pounds. All things considered, though, it was really a pretty easy fix. Again, it seems to impact these motors at about 125,000 miles. So I suspect I'll probably be revisiting this problem in another 100 or so thousand miles. I tend to hold on to the cars for a long time. But there you have it. If you have one of these cars that's popping a 0401 error, it's probably that more so, that block passage more so than an EGR valve or anything else. That's not to say it's the only thing that can cause that problem. EGR valves do go bad from time to time. They can get blocked up. In this case, I lucked out. I didn't have to worry about that. The channel between the EGR valve and the intake itself seemed to be pretty clean. It was just that last portion in the intake. So anyways, there you go. That is your helpful tip from Malcontent Corner here. I hope you find it of use if you are having a Mercury Cougar that is popping a P0401 error code. But as always, I thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If it has helped you, please feel free to leave a comment below. But regardless if it helped you or not, I do appreciate you taking your time to watch me. So until then, until a later time, you take care of yourselves, and we will see you back here at Malcontent Corner at some point in the not too distant future. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you later.